Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who is standing above the gate, looking out at the greatness of their army, thinking of the scene. It's the one thing, the one scene I've been regretting or regarding not getting, in the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is the scene of Aragorn above the gate and his parley with them, which is always one of my very favorite parts of the entire battle. But their army is very great, I have to say. I'm the glint of the the moonlight off their armor is really cool. Like the way they look like a sort of a field of stars, and the big fires are a nice effect. Though they look very uncomfortable, frankly, down there. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, a field of evil stars, exactly. Well, and of course, by starlight, it's particularly interesting. It's actually starlight glinting off of them down there, isn't it? Which is kind of this whole thing. Right? Like this, it's like a reflection of Sam's insight in Mordor. Anyway, okay, I gotta find Kenric, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna see if we can finish the Battle of Helm's Deep today. The story tale. I don't remember where Kenric is. I think it's over here with Théoden. Right, because we had just gotten to Théoden, I think, was just about to complain about being trapped like a badger, taken like a badger in his den, right? My friend, you still live. I have sustained a number of injuries, and my shield was cloven in two, but still I stand strong for Rohan. What is that? You have encountered my dear wife Ardith and my daughter Leova? They are still in good health, safe within the caves. You have eased my worries. Thank you for that, but there is no time to rest. We must defend the Hornburg. Dude, we didn't tell him about, his daughter defeated Lou Brennan? Oh, man. All right, well, let's defend the Hornburg.
The Hornburg must not fall. This
Agreed.
is the last defense, my friend. We must stand for as long as we can. For Rohan.
Oh. Bridge is on fire. Okay, so the orcs have been coming up to approach the gate. Oh, Théoden is looking out here, huh? Yeah, see, it is a good vantage point, isn't it, Théoden? I think Théoden looks awesome in his helmet. Really great helmet. Okay. Oh, the light is... It's graying light. Almost dawn. Anyway, Háma. Oh. You turn the other way. Anyway, Háma. How fares the battle down below, Gryfflet? There has been hard fighting up here, and Théoden King has bloodied his sword already. So far we have turned aside all our foes, but I fear they will storm the lower levels, and we will be surrounded. Do you have any good tidings for the king, or has all been lost? This night seems never-ending, and that is a trait it shares with the forces of Isengard. Oh, we're walking. Oh, no, we're not walking anymore. Stand not so near the edge. I fear the arrows of the orcs might find you. You need not fuss over me, Háma. I do not fear death. What do you fear? My sword rests no longer in idleness. I am prepared to fight and die for my land and my people. It should have been so earlier, but for the honeyed words of Saruman, poured into my ear by his servant Grima, but no longer. My place is here in defense of my people until the very end. It will not be much longer. I do not think we will see another sunrise. The orcs have almost overrun the northwest wall. Then it is over. It is not so, not yet. Oh, hi, Aragorn. If the Hornburg falls, there will be none left to safeguard the kingdom of Rohan. We must defend the fortress for as long as we can. There is no other choice left to us, Gryfflet. It falls to us to save Rohan. I agree. Sorry, just looking at Enduril there in your hand, which is pretty awesome. Yes, it falls to us to save Rohan. Let's save Rohan. Okay. Alright, Háma will protect the king. No problem. Where are we going, Aragorn? Down the stairs. I know this got... Oh, we got a whole bunch of orcs down here, right? Okay. Oh, man. Yikes! Holy cow. Were all of those supposed to aggro on me all at once? Because that's exciting. I mean, I have Aragorn tanking for me, which is like... Okay. I mean, goodness. Talk about, like, celebrity tanks. That's not the last of them? Okay. I'm behind you. Oh. They're yellow, huh? Or just the ones I can't fight, maybe? Right, they're turning blue as I can hit them? Yeah, alright. That makes more sense. No, that it was Théoden, son of Thengel, who dealt the killing blow. Alright, they're killing trolls over there. Quench the fuse. Right. Oh, come on. Target the thing. Whew. That was close. Kept targeting the troll corpse. That was quickly done. Well, not as quickly as it might have been. You have purchased us a reprieve and saved the fortress from another of Saruman's sorcerer's devices. We are safe for now. Safe? You speak of safety when 10,000 orcs clamor outside these walls. We slew these orcs, so too will we slay the next. This troll met his end at your hand, Théoden King. Aye, Háma. But how many more will need ending before I reach my own? We should get out of the open, Théoden. I keep waiting for him to say he's not going to be taken like a badger in his hold. I will not cower within these walls until the end. Alright, that's what I've been waiting for. That is not the death of a king of Rohan. There are not many choices left to you, Théoden. Not many know, but this choice I do have. So he's not going to compare himself to a badger? That's okay. Eorlingas! Riders, make ready. We will ride forth and bring glorious battle to the orcs. Théoden, it will take time for your men to prepare. It will? I will give you the time you need, my king. I will stand guard by your door one last time. Oh no, Háma! No foe shall pass, my king. Théoden, understanding what Háma is doing. Go, my Doorward. Can I go with him? On my steed? Right here? Here and now? I ride with them? Okay, I thought I was going to fight with Háma over there for a minute. Don't you fight with Háma in the epic battle version? We will ride from the Hornburg and bring death to the orcs. Riders, to me, let none fear to ride with us, for the bards will sing of our deeds long after we are gone. This is the hour of Rohan. Whoa. We're mounting. Okay. Why can't I not mount my war steed? What's wrong with my war steed? Okay, I guess I'll mount my regular steed. Whoa, where'd they go? I'm gonna walk, I guess, into battle. This is not going well. Okay, I'm riding. That was weird. I totally missed it. Like, what on earth? I couldn't get my horse. Why would my horse not? Weird. Okay. That was, odd. Thorkettle, what happened there?
Do you hear that sound? It is the sound of celebration. The battle is won.
Okay. We won the battle. I guess I should have mounted up when he told me to mount up. Upstairs? That was weird. Did you see how, like, my horse was grayed out? Like, I'm trying to mount my war steed, and they left without me. Oh, well. Oh, well. Okay.
Dawn has come, and with it the renewal of our hopes.
That's right. Dawn has come. Okay, where am I? Not in the right place. Nowhere near the gates, I think. Okay. Yeah, Phil says I always appreciate a bit of red text telling me what to do in situations like that. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Agreed. Yeah, but I agree. Like the charge of the pedestrian charge of Gryfflet with the orcs flying away from him was kind of awesome, actually. Yeah, I know, Pontine, but what was the point of me riding a regular horse that I can't even fight? Like, I thought it was not actually meant to be a sightseer, you know? Like, I had the definite impression that I was supposed to be helping fight. That was weird. Alright, I'm just coming up to check on the Hornburg up here. The bodies of the fallen all laid out. Ooh, I can enter the Hornburg now. But I suppose I will get a chance to do that later. Ah, there's the forest. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the, you know, the instance ending right there. I'm not a big fan of that because we whoa, stepping on bodies. Look out. Oh, nice. It's the blown up wall. Yeah, the ending does feel underwhelming, Zalarot, I agree. I mean, there are a couple really important elements, right? There are a couple really important elements to the ending of the Battle of Helm's Deep. You've got the charge of Théoden. Or you've got the charge of Théoden, which seems hopeless. Where are the front gates? Why am I not finding them? Oh, because they're right here at ground level, which is why. There are a couple important elements to the ending of the Battle of Helm's Deep. I mean, you have the heroic charge of Théoden, who believes he's charging to death, right? Instead of being taken like a badger in his hold, he is going to charge out and die like a king of the mark in the saddle, charging his enemy. It's an act of defiance, not quite of despair, but an act of an act of defiance in the face of despair, right? And they're going to charge out, and Aragorn's going to charge with him, and they make this wonderful charge, and they cleave through the enemy. And then, of course, you've got the meeting with, and the orcs are terrified by the onset of the king. Like, it works, right? And the orcs flee, and then Gandalf and Arkenbrand come down, and then, of course, there's the discovery of the trees. So all of those things, all of those things sort of added together one by one, and then of course Éomer and the others and Gimli, charging out of the caves. It seems really weird to end the instance right after the charge begins, Oh boy, these gates took a bit of a beating, didn't they? Because you lose almost... I mean, okay, so they're charging down the causeway and, killing a bunch of orcs. Or the orcs are just, like, fleeing and dropping dead while Gryfflet runs down, right? Okay. But, that doesn't accomplish anything. Like, it doesn't... It's like only step one, not even completing step one. Okay, so they knock orcs off the causeway. That is very far from even the achievement of the first effect of the king coming out. Yeah. Found Aragorn and Théoden. Strides their steeds on the field of victory.
Fortune was with us this day.
I came out upon the wall to see the dawn, a scene I would have wanted to see, and the orcs mocked me. They did not know their doom was at hand. They jeered me and threw stones, but I despaired not. Théoden spoke of one last ride through the gates, and I saw the glory in it, but still I dared not hope for victory, and yet the sight of the king riding forth gave to his people the fire they needed. Did you hear the horn blast as the king rode forth? I do not know what man blew the horn of Helm Hammerhand, but it filled our foes with terror, especially the wild men of Dunland. They thought Helm came again among the living. Who is to say he did not? So it's kind of interesting to me that they're basically trying to make up for it in narrative here, right? We're getting it in narrative form, which is kind of cool.
The orcs fled before us into the wood, but from whence came this sorcerous forest?
We have seen victory this day. The Eorlingas rode forth from the gates, driving orcs and wild men before them. I have never been so proud of my people as when they charged beside me into the mass of our foes. Many brave warriors perished this night, but the glory that is theirs can never be taken away. Rohan lives still because of their courage. The orcs fled before us, but they knew not what to make of the forest that now lies at Helm's Dyke. Gandalf may know, for it seems a thing of sorcery. I know only that the wood is no friend to the orcs, for none that passed that way have emerged. It casually alludes to Gandalf, although I've not seen Gandalf or indeed heard that he showed up. So again, if I didn't know the book, I wouldn't have the faintest idea what he was talking about. Gandalf is here? When did he show up? How? Why? Does feel like there's a gap in the story. A gap the size and shape of, the really exciting climax.
Do you see the forest over yonder? That is no doing of mine.
I am glad to see you survive the night, my fortunate friend. Théoden, too, has had a turn of fortune, though he may not realize its true extent. Do you see the forest away yonder? That is no doing of mine. Those trees were brought here by a power much older than my own, and much greater in its own way. Théoden calls it sorcery, but name it not that. Name it rather a power that bodes ill for orcs and all others who harm the natural order of things. Saruman should fear this power. I believe he has already come to know his mistake. But we will learn the truth of this later. For now, celebrate the ally that arrives in time and the courage of friends. The day brings with it the dawning of hope for Rohan. Okay. I gotta find Éomer now. Treebeard's power is older than Amaya? Sure. I mean, Gandalf's only been around since the year 1000 of the Third Age. I know he has personally been alive for longer as Amaya, but his incarnation is important, right? It matters. Gandalf, as Gandalf, has only been around for a couple thousand years. He's a spring chicken. Oh, got the captured Dunlendings, huh? Oh, it's Erkenbrand. Hi, Erkenbrand. Now, again, the one advantage that Lotro has over the book, I said we wouldn't even have known how and under what circumstances Gandalf arrived. But of course, we did see Gandalf and help him with the gathering and the defense of Erkenbrand's army, so we knew it was gonna happen, right? And Éomer's here, which again, whom we got to meet in the caves.
Fills these Dunlendings with fear.
So we had a sense that, like, we knew what was gonna happen, right? We knew that Éomer and Gimli were okay, and that they were able to charge out. We knew that Gandalf had found Erkenbrand and his army and was preparing to come, but the actual climax is just sort of implied. Drowsnake, you're right. Gandalf the White's only been around a couple months. Yeah. Most of the Dunlending warriors cast down their weapons when the horn of Helm Hammerhand rang through the deep. Even his memory is enough to fill them with fear. I am having some difficulty convincing these warriors that their lives will be spared. I think Saruman painted for them a picture of my people rather different than the reality.
The horsemen burn their captives alive. Saruman saw it with his sorceries.
The Dunlending warrior stares at you with fear in his eyes. I know what them horsemen do to their captives, and I will not let that happen to my men. This strawhead says they will be spared, but how can I trust this man, who weighs the value of a horse above that of his own children? Really? Right, the horsemen burn their captives alive and feed upon the dead. Saruman saw it with his sorceries. That's interesting. You assure the Dunlending warrior that this is simply one more lie of Saruman's, and that Éomer is a man of honor. The warrior's fear abates slightly, but it will take some more time before he is at ease. In time, the lies of Saruman will be proven to be falsehoods. You leave Éomer to his charges. Keep up the good work there, Éomer. Okay, apparently I've got to find Legolas and Gimli. But yeah, I agree. We don't know the timing, and unless you know the books very well, we don't really necessarily know the outcome. Right? The fact just like Théoden charging off into the night does not explain what's happened here. And we're getting it in narrative, right?
You stand before a victorious dwarf, friend.
That's a great line. The battle is ended, and so is my contest with Legolas. You stand before a victorious dwarf. You were quite a help within the caves, my friend, and I thank you for the aid. The fighting was thick, and the outcome was not certain, but we triumphed. And now the light of day banishes the fears of the night. I am glad we are here to see it.
Dawn brings with it an end to our struggle. for now. Joyful sunrise.
Legolas grins at Gimli and nods his head respectfully. Gimli has won our little competition, for his tally exceeds mine by 1. I begrudge him not the contest, for I was very worried when the fighting drove him back to the caves, and none seemed to know his fate. But he tells me you are a staunch ally, and I thank you for it. Doubtless you softened some of his foes as well, and helped him win our competition. I forgive you for it, my friend. It was said only in jest, for the light of this morning seems more ripe for jesting than any we have seen of late. Everybody's having a good time. It's a good morning. Legolas in armor of Rohan looks pretty cool. Drousting says that he thinks he lied to make Gimli feel better. Yeah, well, I don't think so. The problem is he doesn't have that many arrows and can't do much without them, basically. Okay, hey there, Aragorn, and where am I going? I'm talking to Gandalf again.
The battle is over, and Théoden has emerged into the sunlight and victory.
The Orcs have been defeated, if not by blade, then by powers older than the kingdom of Éomer. The warriors of Dunland have fallen or fled, and those that remain have thrown down their weapons. The battle for Helm's Deep is over, and Théoden has emerged into the sunlight and victory. Again, replacing with narrative. We will soon need to travel to Isengard, there to see what will become of Saruman now that his army is defeated and his treacherous goals laid low. But for now, there is the work of recovery to be done. We will nurse our wounds, tend to our fallen, and see what must be done in the deep and in the ravaged fields of Rohan. I will call for you when the time has come to set our sights upon Isengard and Saruman. Okay.
Now we must look to the future.
Book 14. The battle is won, and now we must look to the future. The design of Saruman has been ruined, not by any spell or magic, but by the stout hearts of the Rohirrim and the swift speed of Shadowfax. Still trying to fill in the narrative that I missed. Gandalf notices your study of the curious trees beyond the dike. Ah, that forest is no magic of mine, Gryfflet, a power much older than my own. Didn't we already do this? Drives it here, and I could not have hoped for a more timely arrival. He hands you a number of healing poultices. Before we can proceed, I must attend to the hurts of those injured during the battle. These poultices will bring them some measure of relief. Speak with the king and see if he has need of such treatment, and then do what you can for the wounded. Okay. Maybe we will get that rarest of things lately, a side quest. Hey, Kenrick looks like he's ready to supply me.
We have seen victory this day, but our work is not ended.
No, it is not. We have earned a brief respite only, and must take steps to ensure the safety of the mark without much pause. The king sees the bundles of poultices in your hands and shakes his head. I am fine, Gryfflet. I have suffered bruises only, and the strength of my fathers has kept me from sustaining grievous injury. Many of my men will have need of that healing. Bring those packets to them and see to their hurts. Look, too, for men with swift horses, and command them to ride for all corners of the mark, with news of what happened at the Hornburg. I want every vale in the Rittermark to have tidings of our victory, and to send their strongest fighters to Edoras by the second day of the full moon. After you have exhausted the poultices and the riders have set forth, find Erkenbrand and give him my thanks for his timely arrival. Without his men, this sun might have risen on a different day for Rohan. Okay. What do you have to say, Kenrick? I will not forget the long night. Many are the tales we will tell of the great battle at Helm's Deep. This quest will give you the opportunity to play them. Oh. Ooh. You mean like the ones I already did? Okay, no. We don't want to do it again. Okay, so this, he will allow me to repeat it. Okay, not a side quest after all. I'll bring Théoden's command with the utmost haste throughout the Eastfold. My injuries are not that severe. Okay. Nobody wants healing. How about you, dude? Oh, okay. Excellent. Off he goes. I wish I could deliver my king's message, but my horse is sick. Oh, did your dog eat your homework too? My horse is sick? What does your horse have, an upset tummy? Okay. Oh, I still got lots of dudes, but they're all in the other direction. Okay, we're gonna heal folks. We're gonna send riders out. Right, Josnik says it's the Rohirrim equivalent of car troubles. Phil, it would be difficult to portray the full battle without making it pretty much an extended cutscene, but here's my argument. If ever there were a time for an extended cutscene, it was right there, right? I would have sat and cheerfully watched quite a long cutscene at that moment. And I think that's actually what I expected. You know, to ride or, you know, walk down the causeway and then get a cutscene, right? And then come back to the aftermath. So it's like we just didn't get any of the cutscene at all. So we didn't see any of the climax happen. Your horse is not swift enough. You can't even go to, like, I don't know, the Westfold on your slow horse. Okay, got another healed dude. How about you? Okay, no, another dude who doesn't want to be healed. Okay, he's riding forth at once. Not going to mention where, you just... Okay. Somebody else is probably faster than me. Okay. This is a weird quest. Okay, you're bringing the King's Command to Wildermoor. Just like some people just kind of opting out. Okay, I've healed. Found 3 people who will accept healing, so that's good. Yeah, Drosnik, I know, right? I mean, it's like, you know, they're like, yes, we shall ride and die with Théoden King, but, like, send a message, or, like, bring a message? No, you know, my horse is a little slow.
We have wrested victory from the very claw of Saruman.
That is true. This is a proud day for the Riders of the Mark. We have wrested victory from the very claw is really interesting. Even as he thought his triumph assured, the House of Eorl is stronger than he supposed, despite thrice-cursed Weirginda and the whispers of frailty that have been uttered throughout the Mark. Théoden King has fight in him still, as does his sister son Éomer. Arkenbrand strikes his shield with the side of his sword and cries, "Victory for the Eorlingas!" a cry that is answered from others of the Rohirrim throughout the field. After a moment, he turns again to you with a smile. "We have put the Dunlendings to work, Gryfflet, hauling away the bodies of the Orcs and cleaning the field of battle. Any who take a solemn vow not to cross the Fords in war ever again will have the forgiveness of our king."
It will be a few hours before we ride for the ring of Isengard and its evil master.
Gandalf has decided to ride to Isengard to confront Saruman, and my uncle has determined he should ride with him. Some others will go as well, but first we have need of rest. It will be a few hours before we ride. Right, and all of us toiled greatly during the night. Find Gléowine inside the Hornburg. He has begun to arrange bedrolls for those seeking to rest for the journey. Ooh, do I get to use a bedroll and have another dream? That's been a while. It takes you back, doesn't it? Okay, no, I don't want to... I don't actually want to do this, because I already did it. So we're going to cancel that one. Okay. Alright, talk to Gléowine inside the fortress. Can do. Narfor, I like that. Narfor says, I recently realized that Lothro's portrayal of the White Hand, like their actual depiction of the White Hand emblem, is always left-handed. Sinister, at least at this point in the game. I choose to believe that that's a deliberate Easter egg. Yes. I think that's a great theory. Hey, Gléowine!
I will tell you the tale of Háma's heroic stand, if you will hear it.
I sure will. This day begins a new dawn for Rohan, but not without cost, Gryfflet. Many friends and kinsmen came to their ends during the long night on the wall, and it is the minstrel's sad duty to remember their names and their tales. Háma the Doorward of Théoden fell before the Hornburg. Without his valiant efforts, the gate would surely have been breached, and the king slain before he could ride to victory. I will tell you the tale of Háma's heroic stand, if you will hear it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh man, I get all these. I get a sword to remember Háma. That's kind of cool. All right, I think this is the one right here. Oh, and I'm not picking yet. Okay, I'll get there. Háma's daring. What's that? A club? Huh. Or a mace. Yeah, okay. All right. There's the session play. Okay, so Drowsnake, this story is that you may remember in the epic quest line.
Dawn had not yet come.
You may remember in the epic
Orcs
quest line.
streamed into the gatehouse, eager to spill the blood of
I'll
Théoden.
tell the story later. Doorward
One
strike.
man stood in their path.
Deadly swing.
Háma, the Doorward of Théoden.
Yeah. Where am I? Gate. Okay. Oh. Missed me, guys. Okay. I've got Doorward's strike and deadly swing. Oh wow, that's pretty good. I got the glory of Rohan over here.
Háma thought of the glory of Rohan, and his strength was renewed.
Yo, bring it, Orcs. I've got like 100,000 morale. What do you got? Nothing. Dunlendings? No problem. I like how they stand all one on top of another, so... Oh! What, am I considering the glory of the House of Éomer?
Háma thought of the House of Éomer, and his strength was renewed.
Yeah, I mean, they're really forming an orderly queue here. Háma at the gate. It's really interesting how they framed this. That is, that Háma's sacrifice was to
Háma stood with
enable
his
the
back
king to
the door
prepare.
and prepared for the end.
Should I get thoughts of Leoferth?
I will not retreat from here the tread of a single foot, he cried aloud. A Doorward I was, he shouted, and a Doorward I remain. Even as he fell, he heard the horn of Helm Hammerhand echo in the deep. Forth the Erolingus! Ride to victory!
Yeah, Edith, I was thinking the same thing, and the charge rides right over him. Yeah. So, of course, in the book, we don't learn exactly the circumstances of Helm's death. We know that he died defending the gate. But we're not told anything more exactly about the circumstances. So the fact that he defends the gate and, you know, I mean, I have to admit that the whole Théoden needs time to prepare for his charge is a little bit contrived. I mean, like, what? He needs to get on his horse, right? But, I mean, presumably he was already prepared, mostly. I mean, I doubt he was in his PJs prior to that. But, anyway, so it's a little bit contrived. But I do like the fact that they made his stand more deliberately self-sacrificial, more heroic in that way, right? That he gives his life to defend the king into the way that they, his sacrifice enabled the victory, right? Yeah. Edith, Théoden's PJs totally have little horsies on them. No question. No question.
And so passed Háma, the Doorward of Théoden.
But we can do better than that.
And so passed Háma, the Doorward of Théoden. Without him, the gate and perhaps the kingdom itself would now be broken. Do not forget him. I know that Théoden king will not. He served the king faithfully for many years, even with his death.
Hard to do like Gléowine at solemn moments in the Gléowine accent. Anyway, okay. It never gets old. Okay. What are we supposed to do? Talk to Théoden again? Oh, after, right, to close the Háma quest, sure. Uh-oh. Another knee injury. Looks like it might be the unhappy triad again. No? Hello? Mr. Soldier? You have a quest ring, but I can't talk to you? Weird. Okay. Where is anybody then? Was he up at the gate? Or up at, at the Hornburg? Is he not, like, wanting to walk over the corpses of the slain? Which message did I convey? I saw that I conveyed a message. Which one did I convey? It did not appear to impact him very much. No idea what's happening right there. This isn't right, is it? No. This isn't right. It's the wrong set of stairs. Where am I? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to guess that Gléowine is up here, and I have no idea what those soldiers with the quest rings that I can't access are all about. But let me come back up here to the bridge. Gléowine is inside the Hornburg, right? Nice. Well, sort of nice. Except it's completely dark. Boy, who let the fires go out? It's very dark in here. I think it's nice in here. I see some of the great Rohirrim tapestries over there. Oh yeah, we got the Boar of Everholt and... Who's this? Oh, just some guard. Alright, we got Horn blowing the horn. Yeah, Helm blowing the horn, that's what I mean to say.
We spoke yesterday. Do you remember?
No. Don't think I do. It does feel like a lifetime ago.
Speak to me if you are ready, and I will prepare a place for you.
The king and some other of his guards plan to ride for Isengard, but first they will take some rest. Ooh, I do get a bedroll. Okay. Do I have to do the interlude first? Is anything bad gonna happen if I Okay, I'm not comfortable with time passing quests. I'm gonna go back and finish the other quest line first. Oh, hey, Andang just joined us. Hey, Andang. Okay, turn my light back on. When the screen is really dark, and I've got a light right behind it, and I can't see anything when the screen gets really dark. Okay. I think I'm gonna take the fast route if I can. Oh wait, this doesn't look very fast. A little better. Okay. That was kind of awesome because I didn't start swimming. I just walked straight across that water and it was almost over my head. So, Gryfflet doing some extreme wading here today. All right, who am I looking for? Théoden, right? Still standing on horseback with Théoden. I guess I might as well mount up. Shortcuts do sometimes make long delays, Kendall, but that one worked out relatively well. I think that what's it called? Safe Fall might be my favorite Burglar skill.
I will see to it that Háma will not be forgotten.
I know what this victory cost us, Gryfflet. Many good men, children of Rohan all. They fought to defend their people, and I will remember their valiant deeds. But one loss will loom more large in my mind than the rest, for Háma, son of Leoferth, was more than the Doorward of my hall. He served me faithfully for many years, but he did not do so blindly. When I succumbed to the whisperings of Grima Wormtongue, and only Gandalf could restore me to my senses, it was Háma that weighed the wizard's wish against my own command. And though he was sworn to uphold my word, Háma was a true man of Rohan, and made the judgment he deemed necessary. It was disobedience, but in service of the kingdom, and I both forgive and am proud of him. He gave his life before the Hornburg, and without his sacrifice we could not have had victory this day. I will see to it that Háma will not be forgotten. Excellent. Oh, yeah, let's absolutely use that to replace my epic weapon. My legendary. It's just what I want. How could you guess? Okay. Very good. Who's over here? Oh, Kenrick. Right, never mind. Okay. So then now I'll go back to Gléowine and rest. Great. I can't wait to sleep. Am I going to have a dream? It's been a while since I've had a dream while taking a nap. It is really difficult to avoid all of the bodies of the honored dead while riding around Helm's Deep after the battle. Okay.
I will show you to a quiet corner of the keep where you can rest.
And then it is my understanding you will set forth with the king for Isengard? Absolutely. Okay.
After a short rest,
No.
the company sets out for Isengard and finds the road greatly changed.
Okay, we're just transitioning to Isengard. Fine. Fine. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, yes, it's different. I kind of thought we'd be like at the edge of the forest. I also rather thought that Éomer and Théoden would bring more dudes. I hope you found rest before we set out. I guess I did. I tried to do so, but I could not quiet my roving mind, and I am still greatly fatigued. What will we find in Isengard? Aragorn looks from side to side at the towering trunks of the forest. These trees were not here when we arrived at Helm's Deep yesterday. I think we both know what brought them here to the foot of the dike, but that makes it no less frightening a sight. A presence watches us from among the trees. Okay. You don't feel welcome among the trees? Who is that, Éomer? Yeah. Don't stray from it. Don't leave the path. Legolas, why are we stopping? Did you see something, Legolas? I hear a great sound of creaking timbers and rustling branches. It comes this way. Among the trees. What are those creatures? They are Ents, Théoden King, shepherds of the forest. Have you forgotten the tales of your youth? I never believed I would see such things, Gryfflet. Ents, I am filled with wonder at the sight, wonder of a kind I thought was the sole reserve of children. I am an old man, a white beard of many winters, and still I have seen things this day I would not have believed yesterday. They tower above mortal men and cover such a span with each stride. What damage they could do to the homes of my people if that was their thought. But I do not believe that is their desire. Now I understand the meaning of this forest. I gave nary a thought to the Ents, not since I was a boy. Why would they help us now? You have more allies than you supposed, Théoden King. Even among those you deemed no more than legend. Of course, in the book, Legolas does not dismount, and Gimli isn't saying, come back. He is saying, let me off. If you're going to ride off into the forest, I want off this horse. The Ents are herdsmen, not warriors. The people of Rohan need not fear them, so long as they cause no harm to their flock. There is one in this land that would have done well to heed the Ents before now. If he had heeded them, the battle that is lately ended might have come to a different conclusion. It is good for Rohan and for all free folk that he did not take them into account. Let us proceed. There are still many miles to go before we reach Isengard. Whoa. That was sudden. The Fords of Isen. Many good men fell at the fords, but their kingdom still stands. We are almost to Isengard, and will bring report of their valiant sacrifice to the wizard who forced its need. Oh, let's hustle. I agree. A horseman approaches from behind and at great speed. You hear the sound of swift hoofbeats approaching from behind. Let us confront this rider before he overtakes us and offer some harm to the king. All right. You're charging, but like really slowly. My pony is twice as fast as your horse. Okay, Éomer. Halt! Who rides to Rohan? Rohan, you say? That is the land we seek, and with haste. Rohan is ruled by Théoden King, and none enter that land without his leave. What is the meaning of your haste? I am Halbarad Dunedain of the north. We seek Aragorn, son of Arathorn. And you have found him also. It's so funny that it's the one downside of Volume 3, which I love, is that it's like, Halberd, what have you been up to? I've been down here for how long? It is good to see you again, Gryfflet. I knew in my heart we would see you once more, but I did not think to find you in the company of my chieftain Aragorn. Much has happened since we parted, and little of it good, but we need to speak of our respective deeds when there is time to breathe. We have found Aragorn between perils, it seems. He had your help for the first, and he has all of us for the second. May it be enough. I get to talk to the guys. Hey! All right, oh, no, we're right here. Okay. Glad, what's up? It was not a long goodbye after all, Gryfflet, though the intervening days have been eventful. I think Halbarad keenly felt the burden of his duty after you left us, for he was not sure how best to proceed. It seems he chose aright, for we have found Aragorn as the words of Galadriel bade us. The sons of Elrond bear messages for him from their father, and Halbarad carries the gift of Arwen. I trust that Aragorn will know what to do with each of these gifts. Yeah, great. This is misplaced. I'm puzzled by this. Why are we doing this now? I mean, it's awesome. I love this scene. And again, it just really cements the of how effective Volume 3 and indeed all of Volume 1 also is. The reunion, you know, with all of these guys that we now know so well, and, you know, how much more it means when the Grey Company rejoins Aragorn, sort of emotionally speaking, I mean, how much more a more powerful impact it has for the story. But it doesn't happen before Isengard. It happens after Isengard. Merry and Pippin are with them. Because remember, Merry is thinking he might have to die to defend Théoden. They're early. Strange. I wonder why they did that. I think I know why they did that. I think they put them here because the volume ends right after Isengard, and so there was. I mean, the meeting with them in the book happens in between, right, on the road back, and so I think that they got here earlier than in the book because you helped them. Hollogrow, that's a wonderful answer. You're right. They wouldn't have made it until after the meeting up at Isengard had it not been for Gryfflet there to assist them. Yeah, that's very true. Now, I guess I can see how it would improve the flow of the story and the transition from Book 3 to Book 4 in the overall epic narrative to not have them kind of a loose end in the middle. But it's a little bit jarring. Not much, but a little bit. Coronir. This is truly an unexpected encounter. I am glad to see you are well, and in the company of Aragorn, no less. Our errand has not ended, though its first goal is be now accomplished. Now we must lend what aid we can to Aragorn. Is it true you take the road to Isengard? Whatever other objective Aragorn has with Saruman, we must add this one as well. The rescue of Lothrandir, my kinsman. Right. Yeah, that's another good reason to bring them in earlier, I suppose. Hi, Galadir. We're talking in the bushes. We are well met once again, Gryfflet, but in hardship. I sought the treacherous leader of the Falcon clan, but he gave me the slip and escaped into the mountains. He lives still the life of a coward. Not really. You tell Galadir that Lou Brennan's flight brought him into your path, and he has been slain. You tell me true? Then he has paid for his crimes. He abandoned some of his own people when he fled, and we left them in a place of peace where they should be safe. I worried that their former chieftain might seek them out and visit upon them further harm, but even Saruman's magic cannot help Lou Brennan now. I am satisfied. Thank you on behalf of my fallen kinsman, and also for those of his own people he betrayed. That's right, could have closed the loop on Lou Brennan there. Rodanir. It seems you found Aragorn before we did. Perhaps we should have gone with you. Right, taken the short route through every homestead in Rohan on the way here. That did turn out to be faster. Halbrand has given me much to think about. We have more reasons to converse with Saruman than I believed. I feel confident that we can accomplish anything, Gryfflet, now that my kinsmen are here. Can it be that the tides turn in our favor this day? Where are we? Oh, at the fords. Okay. On the other side of the fords. Was that, Grimbold's old camp up on the hill? Is that where we are? I think it must be.
I believed we would see each other again, but I did not know it would be so soon.
Sending you from us was not an easy decision, but I knew Theodred had need of your aid. What sadness that he could not be saved from that fate, but perhaps that too contributed to the resolve of the Eorlingos. The Grey Company has done what it set out to do. We have written to our chieftain in Rohan, and it seems we have come in time after all.
Some of our number were lost on the way, but those of us that remain will do everything in our power to ensure that Aragorn can fulfill his destiny. I'm glad to see you too, Halberad. This is great. What do you think, Aragorn,
I
huh?
have much to think about and little time in which to do so.
It's true. An unexpected joy, my friend. Had I known they were journeying to find me. Aragorn looks at you wryly. When you spoke to me of the Dunedain, I did not suspect you had traveled with him in recent days. I do not think I would have changed my course had I known, but perhaps that is the power of hindsight. Perhaps it is the wisdom of Elrond behind your silence, my friend. He is never quick to volunteer information, which makes the words of his sons even more curious. Which we didn't get to hear. I have much to think about, and little time in which to do so.
I am most curious to see what we will find in Isengard.
I spoke briefly with Halberad, and if I had business within Isengard before, now I count it double. We must find if Lothrandir still lives within the ring. Let Gandalf speak with Saruman for weeks, if that is his desire. My thoughts are of my kinsman. I have not seen him for many years, but Lothrandir has been a friend for longer than that, and I will not abandon him. Let us ride along the road to Isengard. I am most curious to see what it is we will find. Okay, ride along the road north and remain alert. Okay. Oh, we should be crossing into the Isengard map pretty soon here. Okay. Right? No? Am I even going the right way? Boy, I'm just like skirting the corner of this map. Oh man, this is the way I last came with Theodred, isn't it? Did there used to be a forest here? I don't think there did. As I recall. Okay, here we go. Still on this map. Okay. Finally, non-Curanir proper. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see how the map had changed. Two Isengard deeps flooded. Alright, Quickbeam over there. Okay, a curious stillness covers the land, and pools of water stand near the road. Ah, there's the former White Hand, huh?
Isengard has been much changed since last you beheld it.
You may not recognize it. I dare say Saruman himself does not, though he brought it upon himself. Yeah, so what's really interesting here is that, like, on the one hand, you know, you come across through here and you're like, oh, it's a horrible wasteland now. And you're like, oh, wait, it was a horrible wasteland before. Yeah, like, how do you wreck a ruin, right? Fleeing Dunlendings? Not fleeing very fast.
The Ukwirad is angered by your presence.
Men, raise your weapons. We're not through yet. The Dunlending chief's command is met only with groans of pain and fear.
You will not
Stay
live
back,
long
Hobbit.
enough, I think, to help us.
Look at what the destruction of the trees have brought to the Vale. Saruman is undone. They allowed my men and me to flee, but I do not trust them. I know they are still there. I know they are watching us. There is one outside the ring, across the river Isen, I swear. It will not let us live. You have delayed us long enough. Your foolish journey brings you to Isengard. If your foolish journey brings you to Isengard, then so be it. We shall not remain long enough for the trees to find us. Men, we go to Dunland. Okay. Search for the Ent the Dunlendings spoke of outside Isengard. Okay. Goodbye, Dunlendings. Go back home. Go back home. Reconsider your life choices. Okay. Yeah, see, the change is not yet very dramatic. Again, because it was already ruined, right? It was already a wasteland. I agree. An increase in number and diversification of their standard voiceovers would be nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go straight to the gate. I'm going to go find not Treebeard, Quickbeam. Yeah. Foul water indeed. Oh, wait. Hang on, there's a stable master. Let me meet the stable master first. The very walls of Isengard have been damaged by some mighty force.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Okay, just always... always got to meet the stable masters first. Huh. Sorry, I'm looking at the walls here. These are enormous chunks of rock that have been torn out. Okay, good. I am headed in a general quick beamish direction. Phil, this is the 95th Gryfflet session in Rohan alone? Holy cow. I didn't even know that. 95th? Crazy. Okay. Let's try to find... Boy, really, that's a tough current to swim against here. Yes, JJ, technically true that we are not in Rohan anymore. Were there always this many thorns? I think there were, but... Okay, here we are, up on the hill. Hooray! It's Quickbeam. I want to look at the walls from here. And Orthanc itself will be unaffected. Hey, Quickbeam. Whoa. Have I met Quickbeam before? I don't know if I have. Surely I would have remembered that amazing mustache he's got going on. Did I never notice that? I can't see it. I'm too short. There it is. And the eyebrows.
Home. You are a hasty folk.
Tarum. Ah, little Gryfflet. I remember you. I guess I did. Where was it? In the Balewood? Much has changed since last we spoke. More death, more violence, and more of my friends lost. Thankfully, it has finally come to an end, and the land can begin to heal. Soon I must return to the forest, but first, perhaps, you can aid me in hindering the tree killer. You should not find it so difficult to enter Isengard this time, my friend. I found it easy last time, too, but... I mean, that is when I was
hauled in as a prisoner. There is still the matter of Saruman. The tree killer fled into his tower, for the coward knew what I would have done had I caught him. My brothers and I crushed many orcs, but I do not know if some remain hidden from our sight in Isengard. You are small, and can fit where I cannot. If you could ease my fears, I can begin my journey home. Home? Are you going to stay and guard the tower? The watchwood and all that? Search the gatehouse for of Isengard for orcs. Okay. Alright. A side quest. At last! But this looks really counterintuitive when the current is this swift and I can just swim straight across it. Okay. Yes, all quests now bring me back to the gatehouse. So let's see. Maybe I can war steed through the underbrush here. Ooh, I'm on the Isengard map, which I'm really tempted to look at, but let me get to the gatehouse first. Wait, I think we had a good suggestion for the Gondor verb. What to call the stream segments in Gondor. Oh man, seriously? I lost my war steed in that puddle? Oh, I missed the gate also? In other news? There's the road. No wonder I missed it. That boulder was in the way. I was in Rohan longer than the Council of Elrond. It's true. It's true. Hey, it's Merry and Pippin! Sitting there and smoking their pipes.
Well, hello there.
Well, hello.
Hello there. It's been a long time. Welcome to Isengard.
The look on your face is quite a thing to see, my confused friend. Welcome to Isengard. You have had a number of adventures, I expect, and would you believe that we have as well? We have all come a long way from Lothlorien, haven't we? Right, that was the last time I met most of the members of the Fellowship. Much of the trip was rather unpleasant, owing to our new friends, Ugluk and Grishnak. I suppose they're old friends now. We shan't be seeing them again, and that is a relief. Treebeard and Quickbeam are nice fellows, if a little odd, and I do believe I have grown several inches taller. Pippin laughs at your confused look. I don't mean metaphorically, Gryfflet, though perhaps I have at that. I meant that I actually have grown taller.
I think Pip is trying to confuse you on purpose.
He gets the chance to do so. To do that so infrequently that he delights in it whenever the opportunity presents itself. It seems we have gone from the fire back into the frying pan for once. Pip and I were dragged halfway across Rohan by our captors, and though we arrived in Isengard, it was in the strong hands of a friend and not the whips of Saruman's orcs. It was Treebeard who brought us here, you see, and he is... well, he is Fangorn, and Fangorn is he, apparently. This is more difficult than I expected when I began to tell it. We found some pipeweed inside the gatehouse. How about you bring some more out here, and I will try to tell it properly. Yeah. I want to do the destruction of Isengard. Do I have time? Oh, yeah, I do have a little bit of time. All right, I'm supposed to go into the gatehouse and look for orcs anyway, so... yeah. It is a left hand, isn't it? The floodwaters have reached here too.
slain by grievous wounds or crushed by debris. No orcs remain here. Okay. I'm supposed to search the ring of Isengard for orcs, the flooded tents and wreckage, and Orthonk's doorway. Ah, there's the pipeweed. Oh, I thought I was going to go out carrying a barrel of pipeweed, like carrying a target dummy. Uh-oh. I'm stuck. Can I get over? No, I can't. Oh, well. Can I get under? Probably can't. Oh, I can! Hey, that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to count the Paths of the Dead as the official transition into Gondor. All right, galumphing. Yeah, galumphing. I think we might as well galumph. Hobbits don't really galumph, but oh look, Aragorn's here. Silently. Is he here to comment on the oddity of finding pipeweed of the South Farthing? Ah, very good, my friend. This is a very high-quality pipeweed of the sort they grow in the South Farthing back home. Allow me to refill my pipe and I can resume my story. I was going to tell you about Treebeard and the Ents, I believe. Let me see. But it seems that Aragorn is troubled about something. Perhaps you should speak with him first, and I will continue my story when he has a happier look about him.
That pipeweed was not grown at Isengard. It came from the Shire.
Right. It does not bear a resemblance. It does not only bear a resemblance to that of the South Farthing. That weed has come from the Shire, which means that Saruman has had his eye upon that land for some while at least. I do not like that at all. If our fortune holds, the wizard will have no further chance for mischief. His interest in the Shire may have extended only to its pipeweed. Maybe.
I do not doubt Saruman's ability to strike, even now.
Saruman seems to be in a tough position, but I would counsel caution in our dealings with him. I do not doubt his ability to strike even now, and even a cornered beast can still do great harm. Gandalf went ahead to the base of Orthanc. Find him and see what he thinks of the situation. Okay. I'm not gonna... Oh, finally.
Pip and I met Treebeard after we escaped from the Orcs.
Yeah, I totally want to hear the story. Absolutely. Interlude the Moot. Yeah, let's do some interlude stories. Session play. Session play is Treebeard, huh? Oh yeah, gambling. Gambling, yeah, that's better than galumphing. Hobbits just don't galumph. That's the problem. Does Gryfflet galumph?
Didn't see him at first, and why not?
Okay, hang on a second there, Merry. I want to see his skills.
I've never seen anything like Treebeard before.
Fangorn's footfall, heavy smash, and left and right.
Except for trees, I suppose. He does look rather tree-ish.
It looks quite lovely in the sunlight, Merry. I dare say I could almost like this shaggy forest. Almost felt you liked the forest? Who are you, and what? That's good. That's uncommonly kind of you. Well, it is nice to meet you, Treebeard. I have never met an Ent before. My name is Peregrine Took, but my friends call me Pippin, or even Pip. I am a hobbit. Ah, okay, now we know his name, so... Who's the other small creature? You've never heard of hobbits before? I suppose we're always getting left off the old lists and stories. Well, we skipped the lists part. How about you add a line for us? Something like, half-grown hobbits, the hole dwellers. There you go. Nice one, Pip. Put us in next to man, and you've got it. It is a pleasure to meet you, Treebeard. My name is Merriotic Brandybuck, but most people call me Merry. We have become separated from our friends, and it seems that Saruman's orcs would very much like to find us again and bring us to their master.
He has a peculiar way about him, but he seemed friendly enough to us.
Hum.
He offered to take us to his home, or one of them. He has a few.
Ah, Welling Hall. Nice. Like the waterfall. I don't see a house anywhere. Hey, shouldn't I be carrying you? But the size of that tree. Is it far? Behind the waterfall? Oh, that is clever.
It was a rather lovely place, actually. Quite homey, in its own way. He offered us a drink that would keep us... what did he say?
Green and growing.
Green and growing for a long, long time. That was it.
Yep. Let's serve them some end draft. Two comparatively little bowls. There we go. Now I'm picking up the bowl. What am I supposed to do? Just pick them all up? Treebeard can carry 3 bowls at once. But Treebeard's so tall. Like interacting with things on the ground is really awkward. Nice. Pippin downs it.
The drink tasted like water, but it was even better and more refreshing. A healthy sensation course from the hair on my toes to the hair on my head.
That was delicious, Treebeard. I feel refreshed and invigorated, as if I had bountiful reserves of energy and could use them for anything at all. But we were going to tell you how we came into your forest, weren't we? I hope I have energy enough for tale-telling.
Our conversation eventually turned to Saruman and Isengard. Treebeard decided something had to be done.
It must stop. I do not know what to expect, Treebeard. Are all of the Ents like you? Follow the hobbits to Durndingle? Whoa, and here we are. Bald Bark, Quickbeam, Beachbone. Oh no. Do you think they will agree with you about Saruman? Only one way to find out, Merry. He has to ask them.
Now, Ents take a long time to discuss things. A long time. A very long time.
So which one is Baldbark? Did we meet him? Is he the one that we met right next to the bonfire? Like the Éomer's burning? That first Ent that you meet in the epic line? Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'm sorry that I would have hoped that more of the Ents that we had met before would be present here. Like the ones from... the ones we were just helping in the Balewood. So, Treebeard's having a conversation with Baldbark. I love this. You look at Merry and Pippin running around. They're going to go and they're going to have their picnic, and then they're going to go scampering around again. Greetings to you, my friend from long ago, when the forest was young and we were not full grown. Many seasons have turned since last we spoke together in the light of either sun or moon. It is many Ent strides from my home. Why have you called me to this place? You greet Baldbark and reminisce about the conversation shared and absent conversations shared and absent friends. Eventually, you speak of Saruman. We have been made aware of the wizard's crimes. He worked great evil in the reaches of the forest near my own home. I agree that something must be done. What will the others say of this? You thank Baldbark for his supportive words and wish him well in the debates to come. Oh, we've got to convince Beachbone. You greet Beachbone, a handsome Ent. His path has crossed with yours several times recently, and the memory of those pleasant conversations is still somewhat fresh. After a polite amount of time, your words turn to the matter of Saruman. Right there, sleeping again up there. Oh no, Pippin was lying on his stomach and kicking his feet. You speak of our neighbor as if he is an enemy, and indeed he does not seem to be the friend he was once. Fumes rise from his home, and the smell gives my nose offense, but that is not a crime. Orcs, too, could come from any number of holes. What evidence marks Saruman as their master? Beachbone politely declines to discuss the matter with you further, but he agrees to listen to the debate, and may in time come around to your point of view.
It seemed to us they might discuss things forever.
It's really very clever to do the Ent Moot from the Ent's point of view, like this. You exchange pleasantries with Quickbeam, one of the younger Ents. His home is not far from Durndingle, and sometimes you have seen him walking in the sunlight among the trees. Before much time has passed, the conversation turns to Saruman. Quickbeam seems to have some idea of the wizard's crimes already. Saruman has much for which to answer. He is a tree killer, and we have been quiet neighbors for too long already. You find me over hasty, I know, but in this there seems to be little need for discussion, Fangorn. I have quite made up my mind. You tell Quickbeam of the 2 young hobbits you met, and ask if he will watch them while you speak to the rest of the Ents at the moot. He readily agrees.
This story is taking longer than I thought it would.
Look at the shadows.
Are you hungry?
Shifting.
I have become a little peckish.
You Ents certainly do take a long time to make up your minds, Treebeard. I feel certain we could have decided this matter 6 or 7 times over if we were still in the Shire. Merry and Pippin listen as you explain to Quickbeam. As you explain that Quickbeam will watch over them. You feel certain that they will like the young Ent, for he is quite hasty in many respects. Well, if you say so, Treebeard, I think you might consider the slow drip of honey in the comb quite hasty in comparison to yourself, so Pip and I will be the judge of that, if you don't mind. Yeah, it really is a very... Because if they had really told it from Merry and Pippin's standpoint, it would... which, of course, they kind of did with voiceover. I think it's a really neat combination there. So, Quickbeam can't be that young, Phil, but only young compared to Treebeard.
that is enough for now, I think. Quite a tale, was it not?
Pip and I went to Quickbeam's house after that, but my hunger has quite gotten the best of me, and I have lost the mood for storytelling. Perhaps I will tell you of the last march of the Ents after I have eaten, but that is enough for now, I think. Quite a tale, was it not? It was. Oh, Farmer's Ferry. Okay. Won't get to hear the tale of the drowning of Isengard? Excellent. Wait a second. How is Orthanc damaged? Does it look damaged? I mean, it's not like wrecked or knocked over or something, but it does look damaged. How'd that happen? Okay, where am I supposed to check? I'm just looking around for orcs. Yeah, I guess, JJ, that must be it. That it's situated on a spur of rock, and that rock itself has been, you know, worn down and cracked, but the tower itself is not. Naught but crushed, damp tents and rubble remain outside Orthanc. Pretty damp indeed. I agree. The water just can't be good for the upholstery. What about Lothrandir? You have discovered a tattered White Hand banner amidst the ruins of Isengard. These grim standards are all that remain of the White Hand outside of Saruman himself. You should destroy these banners and allow Middle-earth to begin to move forward. Okay, let's move forward. I'm not going to dramatically set fire to it. I'm just going to tore down what remained of the White Hand's banners. Alright, I'm just going to tear them down. Alright. Oh, are there more banners down there? Yeah, presumably. Okay. Only shredded banners. Only insufficiently shredded banners. Hey, it's Treebeard. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's the rock around it that's all sort of worn down looking. Wasn't there a ginormous... Oh, it's filled up, huh? Yeah, this is where that ginormous pit, that's what I was looking for. Okay, we're tearing down banners.
Are you trapped? You fallen? You can't get up? The weight of defeat. You have encountered a Dunlending trapped under the rubble of the Ring of Isengard. Despite your past conflicts with the Dunlendings, Quickbeam and the Ents spared them at the battle's end, and you feel that such a show of mercy might do much to ease the tensions between all involved. Okay. Free them from the wreckage. Alright. I hope I don't miss any other side quests. Some of these are like fairly subtle. I only barely noticed that, dude. Okay. Let me while I'm cruising around Isengard here, let me see if I can answer some lore questions. Catriona, let me answer your question that you just asked about Treebeard's song. In Treebeard's song about the Ents and Entwives, do you think it is talking primarily about the actual seasons of the year, or is it more metaphorically about the seasons of life? The latter, but I think it's not just talking about the sort of seasons of life in general. It's talking about the phases of the life of the Ents and the Entwives. So, you know, we start off with spring, right? When spring unfolds, the beechen leaf, and sap is in the bough. So we have their different perspectives on sort of the beginnings, right, of their time, of their world, essentially. And then you have summer, right? And how, and you know, and you've got like the fullness and ripeness, especially the Entwives part of the song. The summer part, right, is all about the harvest and all the you know, everything coming to fruition. And then you have winter coming, and the winter is clearly not just a seasonal winter, right? It is a much more sort of apocalyptic winter. I like how all of these little discrete piles of debris have all trapped like one Dunlending each. It's kind of fun. So yeah, the winter is definitely more of an apocalyptic winter. Let me see if I remember. When winter comes, I mean, he speaks of the bitter rain, which is like bitter cold on the one hand, but it seems much worse than that. I'm not going to remember it word for word. Let me, at least not while I'm still running around and collecting debris. Oh, look at that. It's a page of my notes from when I wrote my article on the Song of the Ents and the Entwives. That's kind of fun. Look, it's another page of my notes. Much sloppier page of notes. These are now yellowed with age, my old notes. When winter comes, the winter wild that hill and wood shall slay. See, winter doesn't kill the trees, right? But this winter is not only going to kill the trees, it's going to kill the hills. That's what I mean when I say it's much more. It's an apocalyptic winter that they're looking for. When trees shall fall and starless night devour the sunless day. I mean, what a stark line that is. Starless night shall devour the sunless day. So we're talking about the extinction of the stars here, right? When wind is in the deadly east, then in the bitter rain, I'll look for thee and call to thee. I'll come to thee again. And then the Entwife says, when winter comes and singing ends, when darkness falls at last, when broken is the barren bough and light and labor past, I'll look for thee and wait for thee until we meet again. So you see what I mean by an apocalyptic winter, right? It's clearly not the seasons of the year. It's only using that as a metaphor, and even that is very approximate. In the first two, it sounds like it could just be the seasons, right? The spring and the summer do themselves just kind of sound like a contemplation of, different times of year and different kinds of, the glories of their lands and things like that, right? You can see them kind of both enjoying their own lands, in the woods and in the fields in the spring and in the summer. Winter is where it really shifts, right? And where it begins to become clear that we're looking at the whole shape of the story, not only of the Ents and the Entwives, but of Arda itself, right? It's not only when they have, in prose, when he's contextualizing the song, the elf song, remember it's not an Ent song, it's an elf song. This song that the elves sing about the Ents and Entwives. Treebeard summarizes it by saying that it is suggested that we will only meet again when we have both lost all that we now have, and it sounds like, of course, the Entwives have already lost all that they have, and that seems to be Treebeard's thought, that if the dead Ent, is that Beachbone, who is burned? Beachbone the Reluctant? I think it must be. I'm wanting to get into this hutment for some reason. Yeah, because it was all glowing green inside. But I don't think I can get in. No, I can't. Okay. What's around here? More banners? Okay. Yes, like I said, the you might think that the Entwives have already lost all they had, and so now the destruction of the forests is at hand, right? If Saruman of old destroyed the fields of the Entwives, then perhaps the enemy now will destroy the forests. That, anyway, is what Treebeard says. So he seems to be thinking of it in terms of an end of their realm and an end of their lives, the Ents' lives, perhaps. But of course, it's kind of connected in Treebeard, through Treebeard's memory of this elf song, with potentially their eventual reunion with the Entwives. But the song itself, although I hate to correct Treebeard doesn't. It's an elf song, and he seems to me not fully to understand it, because it's not just talking about what they've lost, like in that sense. The loss is bigger than that. It's more than that. It's clearly the end of the world when the starless night devours the sunless day. It's beyond the end of Arda itself. At least that's what the song pretty clearly, I think, talks about. So yeah, it's interesting because it's almost both. Catriona, right? I mean, it starts off as being about principally the seasons of the year, but it clearly doesn't end that way. Okay, there we go. White Hand banners. You've destroyed all the White Hand banners, erasing the final remnants of Saruman's once mighty army. With the Orcs slain and the Dunlendings scattered back into Dunland, all that remains are Orthanc and the destruction that surrounds it. Boy, now I want to go back to Dunland, though. And, you know, help with the rebuilding of Dunland. I mean, I loved the Dunland quests. That Dunland is what turned Gryfflet into a completionist, because I didn't want to miss any of the story. In the pre-Dunland world, it was easier to skip the side quests, or many of them, because they seemed sort of less consequential. But but from Dunland on, the story has been very compelling. You have freed many Dunlendings from the shattered remains of Isengard and allowed them to return to their people. Your mercy and that of the Ents shall be remembered in Dunland. Uh-oh. I got an inventory problem. Oh, these bundles of Fangorn leaves don't stack? Oh boy, now I got problems. Here, hang on. Okay. There we go. I was going to say, why aren't they in my wallet? That's why they're not in my wallet. Because you've got to open them, and then they go away. Okay, fine. Can I get anything good with Fangorn leaves? You have a feeling or hope that we will do that during the journey home in many partings? Drowsnake, I agree. I think that would be awesome. I do hope that the Standing Stone folks do in fact bring us back through, because we could spend a good deal of time in the many parting sequence, going back through the lands that we have seen and seeing the aftermath of the War of the Ring, and then getting back eventually to the Shire, obviously doing the scouring of the Shire, and then after that, we'd still have plenty of time. Doing many partings doesn't mean that they have to like bring the whole game and the whole game and story to a conclusion. They could easily see if they piled up stone in front of the stairs. Anyway, because there's still the time. That time, like that year, right? More than a year, in which the hobbits are in the Shire after they return, could easily be dilated, and you could add as much other, as much more game content as you wanted in that time. So. And see Tharbad, absolutely. Okay, so JJ, you're thinking the Ents were right. The Ents were hurling boulders at Orthanc. So what we're seeing are the piled up remnants of the boulders that they threw. Okay, Han, I think I'm supposed to go up to the gate and see if there are any orcs here for Treebeard or for Quickbeam. I want to go east and see Haroon too, and I think that that'll happen. But that's what I'm saying. There will be time to send us off to other places like that. I'm gonna search the deeps. Okay, Gandalf, hang on. I gotta go finish Quickbeam's quests. Oops, I'm late. Never mind. Gonna stop. How time passes when you're freeing Dunlendings who are trapped under neat little piles of debris. Okay. All right. I should run. I'm late. But thanks everybody for joining me. We've gotten to waterlogged Isengard. Maybe we'll get to finish Isengard next time. Perhaps the next episode shall be the end of Rohan Ramblings, right? It may be so. It may be so. Perhaps this will be Gryfflet, and then Gryfflet will officially begin the Gondor gambling thereafter. Pretty cool. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Might still have more than one. I don't remember how much... Well, I don't even know how much stuff is here in Isengard, as I didn't do all the side quests the last time. Pretty cool. Gryfflet's already almost up to level 97. He should probably stop at 97 or 98, perhaps. Anyway. Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good week, and I will see you guys next week, right? I think I'll be here next week. I believe I will be here next week. So thanks, everybody, and I will see you guys later. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.